A nightly adventure. It was freezing. Yvette's rain boots were full of water, and the jacket her mama had hastily buttoned over her nightgown was doing little to keep out the cold. She could hardly feel the cool metal of the pendant clutched between her hands. It was dark, and she could hear things scurrying amongst the rotting wood. Everything in her wanted to turn around and run back home. She wanted to be back in bed, snuggling Bun Bun beneath the quilt Mama had made her last Christmas. But she had Pinky promised to not turn around, so she ran as fast as she could. Mama said that the pendant would protect her, though she thought Bun Bun was much better at that. She wiped at her eyes, but it did little to clear her vision. If Mama were here, she could hold her hand. She would know where to go, but Mama had said that she had to go on this adventure alone. Still, this didn't feel like the adventures Mama would read to her at bedtime. There were no fairies or castles, and would a knight rescue her if she wasn't a princess? Maybe he was waiting for her somewhere. She shivered. Hopefully he'd have a warm dress for her to wear. Her nightgown was covered in mud. Mama was going to be so mad when she got home. She went this way. Yvette looked over her shoulder, her eyes widening as she saw a large man at the entrance of the alleyway. Mama had always told her this area was dangerous. She could see why now. He looked like one of the monsters knights fought. His brows were furrowed, and he was pointing at her as if she was in big trouble. Part of her wanted to freeze, like that one time Mama had caught her using her lipstick to give Bun Bun a makeover. But Mama had said not to stop running. So she turned, the pendant's chain clanking against her buttons as she tumbled forward into a puddle. Get her, the artifact wasn't on the old bat. She turned back, water sloshing against her burning knees, to see that another man had joined the first. She shuffled backward, her boots slipping and sliding against the uneven ground. Her eyes burned as the men drew closer. "Mama, Bun Bun," she whimpered, "where are you?" She wiped her sleeve across her nose. "Look, the necklace she's holding. Could that be it?" The man was close enough that she could smell his breath. His mama had clearly not told him to brush his teeth enough. Her nose scrunched up as she scooted back even further. She needed her knight. Where was he? Grab her. Yvette shrieked, her arms reaching up to cover her head and her eyes slamming closed. The metal beads keeping the chain together clanged as she shivered. This was scarier than any monster in a storybook. When was Mama going to come? Would she bring the knight with her? Her shoulders hunched as the man stomped toward her, icy water biting at her legs. The dilapidated buildings on either side seemed to crowd her. His spit splattered across her shaking hands as he leaned over her. "Kids are so stupid." He was cut off by a hiss of pain. Yvette peeked her eyes open to see the man stumbling backward, clutching at his cheek. She gasped, her eyes widening as she saw bright red blood pooling around his mud-covered fingers. Her eyes bounced away from the sight, only for them to catch sight of metal glinting in the pouring rain. Her eyes followed it to the hilt of a sword clutched in the hand that was supposed to be holding the pendant. The weapon clattered to the ground as one of the men yelled, "Get it!" Yvette made to stand up, her heart racing in her chest, only for her hand to brush against the sword's handle. Her eyes refused to leave the advancing men, but with gritted teeth she pushed up from the ground, pointing the sword at the monsters in front of her. Her hand shook as she held the weapon out in front of her, but she made the scariest face she could and took a step forward. The water sloshed against her rubber boots as she dug her heels in. "What did you do with my mama?"